Hi, my name is Amber, and this is my October wrap-up. So as you can tell, I still don't have my tripod or my mic. But anyways, here's the books that I read this month. The first book that I read this month was Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J Maas. This is the first non-Throne of Glass or ACOTAR book that she's come out with. I was so excited to jump into this because of that. I flew through this really quickly. I loved every second of it. I thought the characters were fantastic and she did a really great job with using these characters that are kind of already built and just kind of making it slightly her own. And it was action-packed and emotional at times, and it was just a lot of fun and a really great read, and it just made me want to pick up the other DC Icon books because I haven't actually read those yet, so I gave this 5 stars. The next book that I read was an entire trilogy, and that is the Paranormalcy trilogy by Kirsten White. This is a series that's been sitting on my shelf for a while and I just hadn't picked it up yet, and I decided to finally do that this month. I had only originally planned on reading the first one, but after reading it and just falling completely in love with these characters, I had to keep going with the second one, and I had been listening to the audiobook, realized that the third one wasn't available until 4 days ago. I just finished the third one endlessly this morning actually. This story is about a girl named Evie who is part of this kind of government-based paranormal agency that is there to protect and help and kind of monitor paranormal creatures. There's shapeshifters and fairies and vampires and werewolves. Because Kirsten White is such a huge fan of Buffy, you could definitely tell that there is a lot of just that feel of the first few seasons of Buffy in this book. The main character reminds me a lot of at least like season 1 and 2 Buffy Summers. She's a lot of fun and she's really spunky, and she has those awesome one-liners before she's like taking in a vamp or something. The first book I easily gave 5 stars. I thought it was a fantastic start to this. The second one I ended up giving, I believe, 4 stars. It wasn't bad, it was just that second book, so it wasn't amazing. The third one, which again I just finished, I loved so much. This might have been my favorite book in the series. Fun and emotional and sweet. Jack and Ref, even with everything that happens through this whole series, you can't help but love their characters so much. They're just so entertaining. I gave this one 5 stars as well. Next I picked up Final Girls by Riley Sager. This is a mystery thriller that is supposed to follow the final girls in terrible events. That one girl that gets away at the end of a horrible situation. One of them ends up dying, and it kind of just sets this twist of what's happening and who's killing these final girls. I was definitely intrigued going into this with this concept and thought it was a really interesting story, but overall I was just really disappointed. Plot-wise, things are a little bit slow. Nothing really crazy happens. It was just very slow paced. The characters are extremely unlikable in my opinion. Wasn't really keeping my interest. I ended up giving this 2 stars. Next I picked up Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the sequel to Stalking Jack the Ripper, which I had been putting off for a very long time now, and I was so ready to pick it up. I'm so glad I did. I loved this so much more than even the first one. I loved this book so much, and it wasn't even because of the plot. I think the plot was really interesting in this one. You're following kind of that Dracula story, and it was really entertaining. The main reason why I love this definitely has to do with the characters. The characters are the reason why this series is so great for me. Specifically Audrey, Rose, and Thomas. They're perfection and amazing, and I just love every scene that they're together in, and I easily could just read a book based on them just hanging out in one room without really doing anything. So I of course gave this 5 stars. And then I read Teen Frankenstein by Chandler Baker. This is a Frankenstein retelling in a way. Our main character accidentally runs over a boy in her car, kills him, and then brings him back to life. That premise automatically had me jumping and wanting to read this. It sounded really cute and fun, and I just felt like this was going to be a light, entertaining read. And when it starts off, it definitely kind of feels that way, and then it kind of just went downhill for me, where I felt overall kind of bored throughout the story, where I just wanted it to kind of end. I wasn't really caring what was going to happen next. Our main character, specifically Tor, is extremely unlikable, to me at least. Whether or not that has to do with the original Frankenstein story, I don't know. I haven't personally read that. I know of the story, I know the main concept behind it, but I've never actually read the original book, so I don't know if that has something to do with that, and maybe that would have changed my perspective on it. But she really is very selfish in a way, and just very technical in the way that she thinks. I mean, I definitely get why that's her character, I understand that, but it made her very unlikable, and I didn't really care about following her. I was more intrigued by some of the side characters than I was her side of the story, so I ended up giving this 2 stars. So those are all the books that I read in the month of October. Let me know your favorite read that you read this month down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.